Evening, a very warm welcome to all of you from Military Literature and Cultural Festival Foundation, Lucknow. We are on to our 10th session of Military Literature Festival, Lucknow. And a very special welcome to our three panelists, Major General Anil Singher, Brigadier M.K. Kushwaha, and Colonel Francis Machado, who's coming all the way from Bangalore. Anil Singher wrote that beautiful book, Military Crazy, and Francis Machado recently written There and Back. And Kushwaha sir, of course, writes every day with his dohas. तो बात यूं थी, मैं ब्लैक एलिफेंट से शुरू करूंगा. 1980 की बात है. जीओसी ने बोला कि बड़े एनेक्डोट हो रहे हैं एक्सरसाइज के दौरान. कुछ आफ्टर द एक्सरसाइज लेट अस पब्लिश अ बुक. So immediately signals were sent and operation order was issued for operational anecdote. The exercise was over and anecdotes, hardly any anecdotes. So a very flash message was sent and everybody was now busy inventing anecdotes and jokes. This flash message also went to the medical battalion. So they were confused, what is this operation anecdote? So they wrote back, anecdote not held, try field hospital. So, that is how the military life goes on. Who is the biggest joker actually? Is it Army? Is it Navy? Is it Air Force? It is Coast Guard? Or it is the paramilitary forces? Or it is we ourselves? Or the someone on top? There are so many facets of military jokes. They could be ranging from your ACRs and to normal banter which goes on, weapon training, COs, ladies club, exercise, NDA, IMA, golf, Sahayak, Subedar Major, Court Martial, general officers. Somebody said, army is like an ice cream with a lot of nuts on top. On Sunday you have a lot of nuts. And then there are operational jokes, officers' mess jokes, and lady jokes, and so on. So then there's stand-up comedy, and we have heard Pania and also Naughty Commander. But let us hear the real guys who have a great sense of humor. But before I start, we have with us Captain Ram, who's 85-year-old from NDA. तो मैं राम सर की अनुमति चाहता हूं कि लाफ्टर और स्माइल शो का आगाज किया जाए. Thank you, sir. A word about Brigadier Kushwaha, who will be moderating today's banter, or rather, I would say promoting the banter. A veteran since 2009. Mahinder's profile says he's an army veteran, basically engaged in entertaining and amusing observations on life and universe. Nothing could be more accurate about him. He views himself as not as a participant, but as an observer of happenings in the world around him, especially in the immediate environment of Uttar Pradesh in general and Lucknow in particular, where he settled since 2011. Besides being an army veteran from the Mahar Regiment, he holds a doctorate in public administration and disaster management. Post-retirement, he has been the director of Army Institute of Management and Technology, Greater Noida, and a defense banking advisor with the SBI. In addition to keeping the reader's humor through his kundalis and dohas, like Kaka Hatrasi and Rahim and Kabir, he also finds time to lecture officers trainees at the Indian Railway Institute of Transportation Management, as well as guiding candidates appearing for SSB once in a while. Brigadier Kushwaha is a silver medalist and a 7-star torch holder from NDA, and that means he is a serious student. But he has a great streak and a sense of humor, and on daily basis writes Daddu ke dohe, including some Daddu ke military dohe. So over to you, M.K. Kushwaha. Let's go laughing and smiling.
Thank you very much. In addition to the introduction that John Lechke has given about me, I would like to introduce myself again in my own style. So please listen to this. ठेठ देहाती पैदाइश है, गए गांव स्कूल, डेली कॉलेज में अंग्रेजी पढ़ के बन गए कूल. ठेठ देहाती पैदाइश है, गए गांव स्कूल, दिल्ली कॉलेज में अंग्रेजी बन के पढ़ के बन गए कूल, बने आधुनिक कूल, ग्रोथ एनडीए में पाई, सेना में अफसर रह करके इज्जत बहुत कमाई, माइंड यू इज्जत ही कमाई और कुछ नहीं कमाया। अब सेवानिवृत्त हालत में और नहीं कुछ काम, अब सेवानिवृत्त हालत में और नहीं कुछ काम, खिचड़ी भाषा का कवि हूं मैं, दादू है उपनाम। So that is what I am. So now let me come to my two illustrious colleagues. First is General Anil Kumar Sengar, YSM VSM, retired. He has had an outstanding career. He retired in 2016. He is the recipient of the coveted Sword of Honor and gold medal from IMA while passing out. He got commissioned and was privileged to command 5 guards, and both as an infantry as well as the mechanized battalion. He commanded a RR sector and a division in Strike Corps. He's also been a military attaché in Turkey and accredited to Syria and Lebanon. He got the Medal of Honor by the government of Lebanon as a DA. He's written 5 books on military leadership and also the famous Militarily Crazy, The Light Side of Life in the Indian Army. He is now completing his next humorous book on golf and life, and that should be out by next January. So don't go by the seriousness. He's got a great sense of humor in addition to having this illustrious career. Now my friend and course mate, Colonel Francis A.M. Machado. He is from Alpha Squadron, got commissioned in 18 Cavalry and commanded it from December 1995 to 1998, and thereafter he was deputy commander in 190 Brigade in Tawang. He took premature retirement in June 1999. He's got a lot of hobbies and he's an adventure sports person. He was one of the pioneers of hang gliding in India. He's a photographer. He's got interest in war memorials. He loves to paint. He loves to do gardening. And as he himself says, he's a jack of all trades, but master of none. But definitely, the book which came out, which he says came out accidentally, There and Back, we will be listening to the anecdotes from him about that. That's really a masterpiece. And in addition to the roof garden to meet the morning sun, he also built with his own hands a fairly large pizza oven during the COVID lockdown for the last 1.5 years. And he can prepare a hot sizzling pizza to go down with a tumbler of one's choice. So go to Bangalore and try that yourself. So with that, I open the humor sessions today. The first on the line is National Defence Academy, which none of us can ever forget. But before I come to the National Defence Academy, I would like to start this whole series with the invocation of God. In our country, it says that Lord Ganesha is the first with whom we should begin everything. But in our part of the country, that is Apna Uttar Pradesh, Ram is the first among all gods. And everything begins and ends with Ram. When I was growing up in my village as a kid in the 60s, I found every second name is with the Ram. So in one case, the boy was Rati Ram and the sister was Ramrati. And in the other case, the husband was Ramdev and the wife was Ramdevi. So I have written something on this. So we will begin with this invocation of Lord Ram. Ram खिलावन नाम बाप का, बेटा राम प्रसाद, राम दुलारी उसकी बीबी, राम अवतार दमाद, राम अवतार दमाद है बिटिया राम कुमारी, रामवती है सासू जिसकी लागे सबको प्यारी, उसके देवर राम से नहीं, राम शरण दो नाम, राम भरोसे ससुर है उसके, बोलो जय श्री राम. So now we come to the NDA and my memories of NDA. There are a lot of them, but I will just like to recite here one parody which I composed as a second termer during Camp Greenhorn campfire. So I'll just recite it and after that I'll hand it over to John Sanger and Mike. And the parody is something like this. पल पल ट्रेंच के पास डीएस रहता है, गहरा इसको करो ये कहता है, पल पल ट्रेंच के पास डीएस रहता है। कल रात वो आया था 12 बजने के बाद, ट्रेंच 2 फुट गहरी थी, मैं सो रहा था बेबाक, फ्रंट रोल करवाए घंटे भर जी भर के, फिर कहा ट्रेंच 6 फुट गहरा करो मर के, मैं खोदता रहता हूँ गहराई नहीं बढ़ती, डीएस और मेरे बीच की दूरी नहीं मिटती, मैं कब तक खोदूं इसको रो रो के मर मर के, पल पल ट्रेंच के पास डीएस रहता है. So now it is General Sengar's turn to recite a few anecdotes from his book Militarily Crazy, and I'll just share with you the cover of that book. All of you who have not bought it or read it, please try to buy it. I'll just share the cover with you. Okay, host, please do something to make this be shared later on. But John Sanger, you can begin. In the meantime, I'll find a way to share it.
All right, thank you, sir. Firstly, let me welcome a lot of my course-mates and officers who served with me in different places who are here today. Thanks for being here. And you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is that we have this session on laugh and smile. And if you take your mind back to NDA, whenever you smiled as a first termer or second termer, what did the senior tell you? He told you, wipe your smile, and then there was the second half, which I'll not, you know what it is. Now, you know, a three-year-old child, he smiles about 300 times a day. A 4-year-old child smiles 400 times a day. And a grown-up man smiles only 8 times a day. Now, actually, you can, you know, take this corollary to the army. A second lieutenant only smiles when his senior smiles. And the higher you go in the rank, somehow the officers, you know, forget how to smile. And the serious part of this is that for about more than 2,000 years, say from the time of Plato and Socrates till 1800, people had a very negative view of humor and laughter and smile. And they felt that people in position of authority should not smile because it dilutes their position. And that is possibly one reason why all these paintings that you find of aristocracy and people in positions of authority, most of them are very, very serious. Now we come to NDA, you know, and I've just picked up 2 of those incidents which I find are actually depict the character of NDA. And I'll start with the minus 54th NDA course and the Kilo Squadron. There were 2 Tongan cadets, you know, Tony and Mao. They were huge guys, you know, they were huge. They actually weighed in excess of 100 kilos, but they were very fit. 2 courses later came 2 more in the 56th course. And one of them was Tweeta. And he was quite a funny kind of a guy, you know, very cute looking fellow with a little paunch, very short hair, flat nose. Now, Tony, one of my course mates, was a naval cadet. And this fellow, Tweeta, who was actually the son of the king of Tonga, he was also naval cadet. So 54th course, 1 naval cadet, 56th course, 1 naval cadet. So this Tweeta one day walked up to the squadron commander, and the squadron was quite surprised to see him. He thought he has some problem. So he says, Tweeta, what makes you come here? He says, sir, I have a very serious issue. I want to change my service from Navy to Army. So the squadron told him, Tweeta, I have nothing to do with your service. It's your country who's sent you here as a naval cadet. Well, what's your problem? He said, sir, you know that in 54th course, there is Tony. He's a naval cadet. and I am a naval cadet 1 year later. So Tonga is now establishing a navy. It has only 3 boats. And when Tony gets commissioned, he will become the naval chief. And 1 year later, when I get commissioned, I'll be the vice chief. The next 38 years, he'll remain the naval chief and I'll remain the vice chief. I don't want to remain vice chief for 38 years, so please change me to army so that I can become chief earlier. And then, of course, after a few days, what happened that a third tummer from Kilo Squadron ran away. Now, it was quite unusual that a third tummer would run away, but Kilo Squadron was one such squadron where the life was, I guess, worse than other places in 3rd Battalion. And this squadron commander was under a lot of pressure as to what's happening in your squadron. And he was trying to find out what the hell was going on. So he realized that no Indian cadet is going to tell him what the issue is. So he homed on to Twitter. So he came and spoke to Twitter. Twitter, he said, can you please tell me, I hope you guys are all right. Your coursemate Jacob has run away. Why has he run away? Now, Twitter had become Pakka NDA guy by then. He said, sir, I don't know. Again, the Scotty spoke to him very sweetly for 2 minutes. So Twitter, tell me, what are your problems? Why Jacob ran away? He said, sir, I don't know. Then when this went on for a couple of times, then Twitter tells the Scotty, sir, you really want me to tell you? Now, Scotty, who was really wanting to find out what was going on, he was very excited. Yeah, Twitter, please tell me what happened. And then in a singing tone, Twitter says, sir, but I won't tell you. Again, same thing happened and Twitter said, sir, I won't tell you. So 2-3 times it happened. And the Scotty was really getting frustrated, But he could actually get tough with a foreign cadet. So again, Twitter, come on, nobody will be punished. Please tell me why Jacob ran away. So Twitter said, okay, sir, I'll tell you now. Please listen carefully. So Jacob ran away because there are too many bed bugs. So this is
Oh,
the story of Twitter. And actually, Tony then later became the king of Tonga. And 52nd Corps Admiral Bisht, who Rimoscond happens to be from my school, he visited that place. And Tony asked him, are you ex-NDA? He said, yes. He said, which course? He said, I'm 52nd Lima. And suddenly the king of Tonga actually started, sirring him. So that is the spirit of NDA. Now this, the second incident is actually, you can call it tragedy, you can call it comedy, but that really is the character of NDA. As people say, the nature doesn't change, the character keeps changing, but in NDA, nothing changes, it remains the same. And this incident, I'm narrating with the permission of the person who suffered it, and he is listening here. So, Vian Parmar sir, good evening, welcome. He was the first tummer in Alpha Squadron, 53rd course. 49th course was, 48th course, sorry, was the 6th tummer. So the CSM was a sadist. He selected him as the understudy, which in NDA is called Undi. And somebody told Parmar, you're the smartest bloody first tummer. That's why he selected you as Undi. Now, Parmar, coming from some very remote place in Himachal, was very excited that I'm the smartest first tummer and I've been selected as the Undi. So the CSM called him. He says, what's your bloody job? By then, he had learned from 4th term corporal that he has to make parade state. So he rattled all that out. CSM said, forget that. Your bloody job is to give me tea at 5 o'clock in the morning. And 5 means 5. It does not mean 1 second past 5. So next day, Parmar had taken his mug the previous evening. At 5 o'clock, he knocked his door. Good morning, sir. Please, may I come in, sir? The CSM said, who's that bloody idiot? He says, sir, Cadet Parmar, I brought your tea, sir. Come in. Then Parmar didn't know what to do inside his bloody cabin, so he kept waiting. He says, keep it on my peg table. But CSM was still sleeping. So he inched forward and kept his mug on the table next to his bed. Thank you, sir. Good evening. Good morning, sir. May I have your permission to leave, sir? The CSM said, you bastard. Come here, come closer. So he stepped 1 inch closer. Come closer. Come even closer. Come closer. It happened 5-6 times, and his face was just about 6 inches from CSM's face. And before Vianth realized what happened, that CSM gave him a bloody tight slap. Just imagine a simple ton from bloody remote area of Himachal gets a slap early in the morning. And then this carried on for next 15 days. After 15 days, no words used to be exchanged. He used to knock, open the door, keep his mug on the table next to his bed, take his take his face next to CSM's face. CSM would slap him and he would say, "Thank you, sir." And he would walk out. Now imagine, this happened for 6 months. 6 months, every day. And now what India has, of course, great tradition that at the end of term social, you can actually square it up with CSM. So he was looking for CSM to square it up. So when he went to the top floor bathroom, he found that CSM was there, but he was surrounded by 30, 40 guys, and he found it very difficult to see him. So he says, I found some bloody space somewhere between the legs of two people, and I pushed in my bloody foot and slowly tapped him. So that was my revenge. Now that CSM was a naval cadet, and he says, all my life I've been trying to locate him, I've never found him. One question I wanted to ask him, I said, "Sir, was there something wrong with me, or was there something wrong with you that I had to get slapped every day for 6 months?" So that is the way the NDA works. I'm sure nothing much has changed. So I'll now hand over to Max, sir, please, for your experiences there.
This cartoon is by Vice Admiral Ganesh Mahadevan. Normally, this scene will take place in the ground floor central lobby, which is behind inside in the staircase. Now, the senior cadet orderly always sits on the central lobby staircase. And when a cadet, before he marches to the cadet's mess, the orderly will put his hands from the front and pull down the shirt, and then from the back, as the cadet turns around, from the back. So one morning when 3-4 of us second term cadets were approaching from the other direction, we could see this 4th term cadet standing there in front of the cadet orderly. And the cadet orderly gave the first yank from the rear side, pulled down the shirt. Then the cadet turned around, and the second yank was the cadet, or the orderly must have had a very hearty breakfast, for he gave an extra hard yank. And just then something broke. Now, in those days, most of us were not used to wearing the jockey type brief. What broke was this guy's underwear, and the nada and underwear fell through. The biggest problem in this humor with seniors is that you can never laugh, and that's extremely difficult. So as we saw this, one of us guys just said, "Shut up, don't laugh, look straight." And this poor senior guy, who was 1 year senior to us, very embarrassed, holding this thing, trying to, reel up his underwear, and he walked past. And, they say that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. But then and that is also when humor begins. But when you cannot laugh, then that's an extremely difficult situation. Thank you. Next, MK.
Okay.
If I can add this, so if you can just keep it for a while. This actually happened in my squadron, and I won't name that officer. He, in breakfast, every second is important, So in those 45 minutes, you got to come, you got to take bath and walk to the mess, and then clear a certain point 15 minutes before that. So in that bloody big hurry for a good breakfast, this guy actually forgot to wear his underwear. And then when the orderly actually pulled down something, what came down? When that came down, that course mate of mine went 4 feet up. So this is the actual story.
Okay, John, Sanger and Mac, thank you very much. I will now straight away go to the young officers days when the youngster gets commissioned after doing the IMA training for 1 year. And for me, the IMA ended in a tragedy, because I was a technical chap and I wanted to go to engineers, but somehow, as fate would have it, I went to infantry. So I had composed a parody in those days when I was doing the commando course as part of the Y course. So I'll just recite that poetry as a young officer, and then General Sanger and Mac can take on. So it is something like this. Very sad Mukesh song. हमने दिल से कितना चाहा इंजीनियर्स में जाने को, भेज दिया क्यों इन्फेंट्री में मोर्चे खुदवाने को, इंजीनियर्स में जाने को। वो सीएमई जहां जा नहीं पाए, वो डिग्री जो ले नहीं पाए, बन के कमांडो घूम रहे हम सांप मार खाने को, इंजीनियर्स में जाने को हमने दिल से कितना चाहा, इंजीनियर्स में जाने को। So now Mac will take on with something what young officers go through in the regimental life, followed by General Sanger. Over to you.
We were in Ganganagar, a God-forsaken station where living was very difficult, and all our buildings were all mud bashas. So there were two officers who were very keen to improve their health. So they told the mess davadar, you buy us extra milk, and which they would pay for. And the mess davadar used to bring this milk every day in an aluminium dolu can. And it would be heated up, and these guys would drink it twice a day. After the first few days, this milk, the quantity started to diminish. And we had a waiter named Hamid, and we named him Billa for obvious reasons. His father used to be a sais with General Hiralal Atal. General Hiralal Atal was the first Indian commandant of 18 Cavalry, and also the first Adjutant General of India, who was responsible to design the gallantry awards, including the Paramveer Chakra. And he's from Lucknow. So Hamid, the son of the sais of General Atal, would whack this milk every now and then. The officers got fed up. They were paying for this milk. So they got a latch fitted onto the dolu and put a lock onto it. So for a few days, the milk was safe. And then again, the milk started to diminish. One day, this guy was hauled up, and he said, when he was told, nahi saab, wo billi pi jata hai, billa pi jata hai, kya hai, mera kya zimmewari. Then they got this lock fitted. So after a few days, the same thing happened. And when this guy was, in the corner and hauled up, he says, saab, वो बिल्ला बहुत तेज है, वो डल्लू को गिरा दिया, फिर दूध पी गया. So after that, this guy who became Abdar #1, he had only one name. We just used to call him Billa.
Billa.
Thank you.
Okay, General Sanger, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sir. I think
your video is off.
Okay, I will leave and join again.
Okay. Okay, in the meantime, when he joins, I will just recite. Yeah, you are here. Okay.
All right.
Some one incident of young officer.
All right. Now, this is actually a really funny story, and it's actually happened, and in a manner that it shows, what is the problem with the Indian Army today, and this is that no thinking can actually become a habit. Now, I've changed the name of the officer for the purpose of this today. Let me call him Jhakad. Now, Jhakad was posted in Akhnur in a Punjab battalion, and the battalion got a message that the BGS from the Corps headquarters would be coming for a reconnaissance, op area reconnaissance, and after that he'll have lunch in this Punjab battalion mess. So the CO called the adjutant Jakad and told him, Jakad, yaar, mere ko samajh nahi aata hai, but BGS is coming, he'll have lunch, that is all right. But I've been told to keep inflated scooter tube ready. So when the time came, the adjutant is a smart fellow, फौज में हर एक चीज का रिजर्व होता है, तो उसको एक ट्यूब बताया गया था, उसने 1+1 रिजर्व, 2 ट्यूब उसने मैनेज किया, fully inflated. And they waited for the BGS to come. After his recce, when he came outside the mess, both of them received them. And Dalal had 1 tube in his hand, the other tube was with the runner who was hiding behind a bush. Both the CO and the adjutant were wondering, yaar, ye tube ka kya kaam hai? Munawar Tawi to nazdik hai, but the BGS couldn't be bloody floating across Munawar Tawi. And when the BGS stepped out of the vehicle, they were quite surprised to see that he stepped out with the tube in his hand. But they still didn't understand why the tube was there for. So BGS, the runner took the tube from BGS's hand and started walking towards the mess, escorted by the CO. उसके पीछे पीछे जाकड़ साहब, young second lieutenant जाकड़ साहब भी चल दिए. And when this BGS entered the mess, the runner handed him over the tube. इसके पीछे पीछे दलाल भी हाथ में ट्यूब लेके मेस में घुसा. So this BGS put the tube on the sofa and sat down on that. Now the Jakad was wondering, यार, मेरे पास भी एक ट्यूब है. अब ये ब्रिगेडियर साहब ट्यूब पे बैठा है, मेरे ख्याल से कोई नया फैशन होगा, नया तरीका होगा मैं इसमें बैठने का. हम फील्ड में हमें पता नहीं चला, तो he also put the tube on the sofa and sat down. So when he sat down on the tube, the BGS looked at him. He says, Dalal, I didn't know you also had piles. Now the issue is, this is not the problem with second lieutenants. This is problem with all ranks, that no thinking becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Now Dalal actually did not know what to do. He says, यार मेरी बियर जब आई तो सबने तो बियर पीनी शुरू की. मैं उस बियर में डूबना चाहता था. कि Dalal, I didn't know bloody where to look because it appeared to me the whole mess was really looking at me. So this is the story of Bio following orders blindly.
Okay, now we'll have Mac to narrate something similar from the young officers' days, or unit life and training.
Yeah, this is little. When I was a squadron commander, I had a senior JCO by name of Mainuddin. So Mainuddin was a fine senior JCO, and but he had a little problem with his eyes. He couldn't see very well, and the Jawans used to say, "Saab ke headlamp karab ho gaya." But this poor man, we were in militancy in Patiala, and there were guards going out, armed guards always accompanying each vehicle. So whatever the squadron duty was, every bullet round was counted, every this thing. He did his job meticulously. But how would he do it? He borrowed, a couple of eyes. He got a young Jawan to see for him. So every entry, every Sten gun, every rifle round, he got it checked with that guy's eyes, and every entry in the register was made with that Jawan's help. But he was also the number 2 in the regiment seniority wise. So when the Risaldar Major went on leave, he had to give the report. On PT parade, one wintry morning, so he got the squadron, the officers had not yet come on parade. So the Risaldar Major, officiating Risaldar Major in this case, had to give the report to the adjutant. So in that foggy, wintry Patiala morning, he saw a jeep, approaching, halting, and the driver got out. So Mainuddin Saab went running up to him and, gave the driver a Sawar the report, saluted him and gave the report. He says, Saab, PT parade ke liye taiyar hai. Sometime later, he got both eyes operated. Patiala was quite famous for that in those days. But before that, on another occasion, he did the same thing and he went and gave the PT report to the lamppost. Shriman 232 जवान 13 JCO PT parade के लिए हाजिर. I don't know what the lamppost did.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We will, since he mentioned of the Risaldar Major giving the report, I am reminded of the ritual of Subedar Major giving the report to the CO, which is every day, evening and morning. So I have composed a Kundali on that. So I'll just recite it. रोज शाम को SM साहब CO के भरते कान, 4 जवान भगोड़े लेकिन ऑल ओके श्रीमान. रोज शाम को SM साहब CO के भरते कान, 4 जवान भगोड़े लेकिन ऑल ओके श्रीमान. ऑल ओके श्रीमान. ऑयल का कुकर फट गया, कुक थोड़ा सा जला मगर सामान बच गया. कुक थोड़ा सा जला मगर सामान बच गया. दादू चाहे आधी पलटन भी होए बीमार, SM साहब की ओके होगी और पलटन तैयार. So that is the spirit. So with that I hand over again to General Sanger for just one anecdote on something else about the unit life that you have experienced and you mentioned in your book.
You know, since you're talking of these reports, and this is actually a live incident of 4 guards, in the times that we all actually joined, you know, there used to be long route marches. There were no vehicles in the army. So if you went on field firing, you walked 60 kilometers, 100 kilometers over 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So this battalion was returning from exercise, about 5 days, you know, walk back to the unit. So everybody used to walk and everybody was self-contained for whatever he had. Only the commanding officer had the privilege that he had a FHLon 1 ton, जिसमें उसका एक 40-pounder tent आता था और एक उसका commode आता था. There was no commode for anybody else. Everybody else was in bottle parade, but CO का commode आता था. So it was a drill when the battalion reached its destination for the evening. Everybody was settling down. छोटा सा लंगर लग रहा है, खाना बन रहा है. And CO would, उसका 40-pounder fit होता था. A camp chair में बैठता था CO, and he would sit with a magazine or newspaper. The Subedar Major would come and give him a long bloody report. And CO wouldn't listen to him. Half of it he would listen, but he was patiently, you know, kept nodding his head till the SM had finished. So that report used to take about 15 minutes. हो गया साहब, ठीक है साहब. That is, ठीक है साहब, पलटन सुबह 5 बजे मार्च करने के लिए तैयार होगा. After another day of walk, the same thing happened, you know. The Subedar Major came with his diary. He is giving his report. साहब 2 जवानों के पैर में छाले हो गए, एक 1 ton पंचर हो गया. So long list, and after 30 seconds, the CO became very, very impatient. He said, साहब ठीक है, बाकी बाद में बताना साहब, बाद में बताना. सब ठीक है ना? हाँ. But the SM, of course, won't go away because he had about 15 points written. So he kept going one after the other. And after 30 seconds, the CO is telling, साहब सुन लिया, बाकी ठीक है. But it चलता रहा. CO kept interrupting. He didn't stop. Finally, he went away. Then when he was going away, he met CO's सहायक. ने कहा, भाई छोरे, आज क्या बात है? CO साहब ने रिपोर्ट बिल्कुल सुनने का कोई मन नहीं था साहब का. मैं तो 15 मिनट रोज रिपोर्ट देता, साहब आराम से देखते थे. आज भी वैसे ही बैठे हैं न्यूज़पेपर लेके कुर्सी पे, लेकिन आज सुन ही नहीं रहे थे. तो साहब टोल्ड में, आप अभी रिपोर्ट देके आ रहे हो साहब को? कहता हाँ साहब. आप बोल रहे कुर्सी पे बैठे हैं? कहता हाँ साहब, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहे हैं. अरे साहब क्या कर दिया? Actually what CO was sitting on the commode behind a bush with the newspaper in his hand. So he was actually sitting with the newspaper. Now the newspaper covered the lower half of his body, and but the SM was not looking at him. He kept giving report for 15 minutes, but eventually the CO's bloody dilemma finished when he had finished his report. So this is about reporting. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Wonderful. Hi, Mac. Let us hear something from your book.
Yeah, this is something that happened in Tawang, where we had 9 air maintenance posts, and every month 1 or 2 Mi-17s would come in to complete their job. So there is an ASC airdropping platoon there, and they are trained in the manner to pack the stores for each post. And then two guys in the helicopter. We have 9 air maintenance posts in the rear of the Mi-17 that is opened up, and that part is this thing is kept aside in the helipad. And once you reach that the landing area, the pilot tells the warrant officer who stands behind the two pilots is also called the bombardier. And on the pilot's orders, the bombardier tells the two guys, okay, now push the load out. Okay. Both these two Jawans from the ASC platoon are to be strapped, and their straps are, there is a place where it is fixed onto the aircraft so that they don't fall out. But these guys are very lazy and they seldom use the straps. They became overconfident. And when the bombardier tells them to push, after that he gives the report to the pilot. He says, load out, load gone, and para has opened. That is the parachute, 2, 3 or 4 parachutes that are onto the load have opened up. And then the pilot does a circuit to see where the load is, that the parachutes have opened and that it is landing in the right area or very close to the target that can be retrieved. In this case, these two guys, when the bombardier said, okay, push the load, they pushed so hard, that the load took them out of the aircraft.
Oh.
The parachutes was on the load, not on these two Jawans. So there they were hanging on to the straps, floating down. Now the bombardier turns around to the pilot and he gives the report, load gone, man out, para open.
Wonderful.
Pilots were heart in their mouth. This is what happened. And then they did a circuit and another circuit. And they could see both these two guys hanging for dear life onto this one holding the straps, and they landed safely. Later they picked them up.
Great, Mac. Thank you very much. Now we come to the next one, which we all achieved before retired, the senior ranks in the army, and there are a lot of anecdotes and jokes about that. So I'll just first relate one something which I have written on the Fauji senior rank, and then one anecdote which I experienced similar to what General Sanger has said about the commode parade. How does the senior officer do it? So the first one is senior Fauji rank. सीनियर फौजी रैंक की मादकता अधिकार है, कर्नल से जनरल बना तो टेढ़ो टेढ़ो जाए. सीनियर फौजी रैंक की मादकता अधिकार है, कर्नल से जनरल बने तो टेढ़ो टेढ़ो जाए. टेढ़ो टेढ़ो जाए जमीन पर बिछे गलीचा, जहां भी घूमे नजर वहीं उगाए बगीचा. It happens, they make gardens appear suddenly wherever the looks. जहां भी घूमे नजर वहीं उगाए बगीचा. दादू रिटायरमेंट के बाद ही वापस धरती आए. दादू रिटायरमेंट के बाद ही वापस धरती आए. पत्नी झोला पकड़ाती तब सब्जी लेने जाए. So that is what is the senior rank in the army. And another anecdote from my experience, the famous general who retired as an army commander, he was my brigade commander, armored brigade commander. From after my staff college, I was posted as BM of a armored brigade in Babina, and we were in excise brass tacks. So after the first night's long invasion with the tanks across the no man's land and across the IB, early in the morning all the tanks taken cover and harbor and brigade headquarters there, but human beings have to go for their call of the nature. So our commander had a drill that the orderly will give him a bottle full and a belcha, which he used to hold it on his shoulder. And he had a very famous red color long baton with a brass knob, which he used to carry always with him. So he had a bottle in left hand, brass knob, this thing, and some belcha both balancing, and he walked away. To his bad luck, and our surprise, the GOC's chopper landed 5 minutes after he had gone for whatever morning call he had to do. So the GOC landed and we all saluted. He says, "Sir, welcome." He says, "Where is your commander?" So we looked left and right, and then again he asked, "Where is your commander? I want urgent meeting with him." So I told him, "Sir, the commander has gone for his recce." So he says, "Okay, how much time?" I said, 10-15 minutes, he should be back. So in the meantime, we made him sit, offered him tea and biscuits and things like that. We did some small briefing operation, whatever we did in the night and all. And after some time, he found in the distance the commander's silhouette approaching the area where we were sitting. And he found the commander Saab with his bilcha and bottle and the knob and coming walking slowly towards him. So GOC could understand what he had been up to. So he looked at me and he says, "I didn't know an armored brigade commander also has to carry out recce on foot." So that is what is the senior officer's experience in the army. With that, we come to first General Sengar to say something about his experience as a senior officer, and followed by Mac.
This is actually more, somebody asked me, "ये tie आपको कहाँ से मिला? ये कितना का tie खरीदा?" तो मैं बोलता हूँ, "यार, I retired as general. General कुछ खरीदते नहीं है. Somebody presents them something." So, the famous Bofors of the Kargil fame, when they came to Indian Army in 1980s, everybody was very excited because Indian Army was all on very manpower muscle type of artillery. And when this very high-tech auto-loading vehicle gun came, everybody wanted to see it. So it's trial firing was going on in whichever firing range. So any general who could actually manage a temporary duty landed there. Temporary duty लेके गए. हर जगह temporary duty लेके जाते हैं. तो there he met a JCO. Now the JCO was a Haryanvi. So he asked that Haryanvi, "साहब ये गन कैसी है?" कहती, "साहब ऐसी गन तो कभी देखी नहीं साहब, बड़ी जबरदस्त गन है ये तो." The next question was, "साहब इसका गोला कितनी दूर जाता है?" कहता, "साहब इसका गोला घनी दूर जावे साहब." So now GOC was a techie type of GOC, he wanted to know exactly what is the range of this gola. So he said, "साहब घनी दूर नहीं, मुझे बताओ कितनी दूर जाता है." So JCO thought for a moment and then he said, "साहब मैंने बताया ना ये इसका गोला बाकी गन से घनी दूर जावे." The GOC was, the general was getting a little irritated and he asked him कि साहब मैं जानना चाहता हूँ गोला कितने किलोमीटर जाता है. So that JCO, the Haryanvis don't have much patience, with too many technical things. So he says, "साहब अब आप पूछ रहे हो तो मेरा जवाब ये है कि मैं कभी गोले पे बैठ के तो गया नहीं, लेकिन सुना है कि घनी दूर जावे." There were no more questions from the general after that. So that is the story of one general. Over to you, sir.
Okay, Mac, let's hear your experience.
There are a number of flag meetings with the Chinese these days on account of the tension on the borders and the line of control. But in Tawang, we used to have normally 2 flag meetings, an additional call for. One was in June, July, and one was in October. So if if India was hosting the call for the meeting, or the October one was held by us, then we would provide all the arrangements, that is all the tentage and all the food, etc. A lot of gifts were exchanged. Also, every meeting, was recorded by, 1 or 2 video recorders and audio recorders from our side and on their side. And then we had to make this thing and send it up. Now, in the Chinese, while we planned each of these events, that what was the menu we gave last time, we may send somebody down to Calcutta to bring the best Bengali sweet, or the best, laddu from here or there to give to the Chinese and to present a good picture of our country, same as the gifts. The Chinese had no clue about certain things, about what we Indians did or what we ate. For example, a Sikh officer was presented two big cartons of cigarettes, but otherwise, after the discussion bit, which was, our agenda, their agenda, then you have a social interaction where you try and pick up little bits of information from each side. And there is plenty of a good rapport because we have been meeting each other a few times, and every week there is a hotline call. Now, this was under Chinese arrangements. While we have got cooks and waiters, the Chinese don't seem to have that. Their officers will do the cooking, in a tent at the back. So this was in the Chinese, this thing. And during the social interaction, they gave us a goblet of nice wine and a plate of an appetizer before the main thing comes up. The appetizer was a bit of a rice noodly, gooey, sort of a soupy type thing with some, crunchy bits of meat in it. And while we enjoyed and ate, that is the brigade commander sitting opposite me, the leader of the delegation. I am the deputy leader as colonel. The Chinese had a full colonel and a lieutenant colonel. So the brigade commander asked the Chinese, appreciating the appetizer, "Oh, this is very nice. What is it?" I was sitting opposite and I realized that I have eaten this as a child, that it is the stomach wall of a sheep. It's a spare part, the stomach wall where the fodder goes in and then is, masticated and thing. And then when you take it out and clean it, and it can be made into a very nice crunchy curry. But this was a bit thinner. So when while what the commander asked, the thing went to the translator. The translator translated it, and then by the time he gave the reply, I said, "This is the stomach wall of some small animal." Because if a sheep's stomach is that thick, this is much thinner. As I said this, the translation came back, and the colonel told the brigade commander, "This is stomach of cow." You can imagine this thing that happened. The humor is most difficult when you cannot laugh, when you cannot do anything, and the video cameras are on. The brigade commander was trying to puke. The brigade major, the DQ were trying to vomit. It was only me. I was sitting happily there. I asked for another plate.
Wonderful. Okay.
They have no clue about.
Okay. We are coming towards the end of our time. So I'll quickly narrate one or two things, and then any one of you who wants to say something can also say about the military anecdotes. We all are retired now and we are really enjoying life. So how does a retired army officer spend his time? So my take on this is, a lot of people do job, employment, business. So my take on this is, दादू करे न चाकरी, करे न कोई काम, रैट रेस में सब लगे अपने दाता राम. दादू करे न चाकरी, करे न कोई काम, रैट रेस में सब लगे अपने दाता राम काम कुछ करे न पड़ना, वैसे भी फौजी कामों की पूछ कोई ना. घर में बैठो मस्त सुनो बीवी के ताने, घर में बैठो मस्त सुनो बीवी के ताने, साल में 1-2 बार कहीं ले जाओ घुमाने. That is good enough. But there is another option also. If you don't want to listen to tanas of the बीवी, then you can say, घर में बैठो मस्त करो पत्नी की सेवा, रोज दबाओ पाँव बाद में खाओ मेवा. So it is up to you how you want to spend your retired life. But there is that old age romance. What do you do for romance in this age? So that is my experience. Listen to it. Most of you might have experienced it. हमने पत्नी से कहा चलो करें हम डांस, हमने पत्नी से कहा चलो करें हम डांस, बहुत दिनों से नहीं हुआ हम दोनों में रोमांस, बहुत दिनों से नहीं हुआ हम दोनों में रोमांस. पहले घूरी फिर बोली वो क्या ज्यादा सठियाए हो, पहले घूरी फिर बोली वो, क्या ज्यादा सठियाए हो, 70 के होने को आए फिर भी इतराए हो। 70 के होने को आए फिर भी इतराए हो। पहले अपने ब्लड प्रेशर की गोली लेओ पेल, पहले अपने ब्लड प्रेशर की गोली लेओ पेल, फिर आकर के कमर में मल दो महानारायण तेल। सो दैट इज व्हाट इज ओल्ड एज रोमांस. So we can now hear anything from anyone from the audience who wants to say something, because most of us are Fauji's and we know what army or air force or navy life is all about. Anyone wants to say, then General HK, you can permit them to say something.
No, anybody who wants to say, just put it in the chat box and we will unmute.
Otherwise, the time is ending.
Not to worry. Okay. As we come to the close, I am not very sure. I'm a retired guy now as to what is the status of sense of humor in the army these days, or in the navy, or in the air force, and is it still existing? Because in our earlier times there used to be so much of time and so much of actual jokes going around. Somewhere I found that sense of humor is gradually going down, but I may be totally wrong. It's been nice hearing these anecdotes. How you respond to these anecdotes and how you respond to the pure humor or pure jokes, it itself very good for your health. And to listen to these anecdotes and to read light reading when you're taking a flight, you will pick up Machado's book, There and Back. There are so many nice things which are there. Or you read Military Crazy, and 2 new books have come out this year. One is on NDA and one more, two books have come out. So I think there is a great scope of having military humor. On the net, there are not less than 1 million jokes on the military humor. And with that, we'll come and close this session. Our profound thanks to all of you for attending it, and to Brigadier Kushwaha, General Singer, and to Colonel Francis Machado. Let's have a good laughter and a big smile before we close down.
Yeah.
All the best.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.